How you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling great.
All right.
Feeling like a double XL mixtape.
Double XL. Apparently, I can't talk, bro. Double XL mixtape.
Yeah, one of the rappers I used to like back in the day. That was like his tag.
Okay.
Dizzy Wright used to be like feeling good, feeling great.
Dizzy
like
Wright.
A double XL mixtape.
Where's he out of?
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Man, you stay rocking Vegas.
I wouldn't say I rock Vegas, and the funny thing is, I liked Dizzy Wright before I moved to Vegas, and by the time I got to Vegas, I was like, that shit sucks. I was like, I don't want to hear that no more.
I feel that. So what's up, man? How's your week been? How you been? Because
I've been gym jumping, training,
Okay.
just working, bro. Bored.
Okay.
Well, not bored, but not doing what I want to do.
Okay.
Hell divers too.
Any cool, interesting gyms you've checked out that we haven't talked about on the show already?
No.
Okay.
No. None of them. No. I've definitely gone to some gyms and I've definitely checked some stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that really stood out to me. But the last time we shot a podcast, I had not been to Forge yet. I have been to Forge yet. I tried it. Let's rate it 1 through 10.
Okay. Forge 1 through 10. No, I'm joking.
Of course, I T and Ross had high praises for it. But whenever I went there, seen a bunch of dudes. I was like, this is where the big dudes have been hiding.
Yeah.
So they're in Misfits. They got a pretty good group of some ultra heavies, some heavyweights. But overall, Forge was a good time.
Now you see why I'm splitting at 2 gyms, bro. Man.
Look, bro, I got I can't do it. I can't do it.
Man, I know. My lady was like, I was like, hey, come on, it's time for you to try some Muay Thai. Forget jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. Come on. She's like, I'm not trying to pay $500 a month just for some martial arts. And I was like, I hear you, girl.
You're not. We are.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, I hear it. The pocketbooks hurt a little bit. Got to do a little extra work, but it's all worth it.
Yeah. Overall, I'm pretty excited. I haven't been affiliated to a gym officially for a while. Mm-hmm. The experiment at the one in January, Henzo's.
Yeah.
Henzo's was cool, bro. Everyone there was awesome. They're mad welcoming.
Yeah.
Just for me to drive 20 minutes to look for parking for another 10 to 15 minutes I was just like, it's too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think I'm settling down on where I'm gonna go.
Okay. I'll ask you again at the end of the show to see if you'll announce it. Don't do it right now.
Right.
We're trying to make this hype for everybody.
You know, I feel it.
Where is you're a free agent, bro. Where you going? That's what we're gonna find out.
You know, it's funny. I didn't even think it was gonna be like this. I was just trying gyms. I was just trying gyms, and now I was just trying gyms, and now I'm hopping around. Like, well, what's going on over here? So
yeah,
pretty fun.
I hopped around less than I actually had planned to, but honestly, both gyms give me something I need, and I was just like, it's within my price range. Let me just go ahead and make this happen. There's no reason, if they're cool with me cross-training, there's no reason for me to try and keep shopping around. I'm going to figure out what I need with these 2 gyms.
Which in all honesty, to me, makes no sense. I don't understand why someone would be... I can understand if, you weren't paying your membership and you're just, showing up. Yeah, I'm training here for a few days. I'm going to train here.
Yeah.
But if you're paying your membership, I don't understand why people get upset about the cross-training thing. It's ruined so many gyms.
Yeah.
So many gyms. But, what can you say, dude? What can you say?
What do they say? It's the ego? Pride comes before the fall? I'm
not even going to say it's the ego. I'm going to say, it's greed. With that, it's more do you not have confidence in your product? Do you think I'm going to be so easily poached away?
Yeah.
But martial arts is only going to gain students at so much of a rate, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if you're not lucky enough to be tagged to the name like Henzo's or Gracie or something like that, it's going to be a little slower, So why wouldn't you want your students to go cross-train and train with someone else?
Well, I think. Go ahead.
No, what are you saying?
I think you said it right there. It's going to be slower.
I guess, bro. But if someone's already signed up under you and they go somewhere else, and they go to a gym, and it's like they like the gym more than yours, and they leave, that should say something about either A, how you're teaching, B, how you're running your gym, or maybe it's just a more comfortable fit for them for whatever reason, you know. But you can't, like, for lack of a better term, hold them hostage. Like, nah, we do exclusivity around here.
Yeah,
you know, shit's stupid.
Big facts. What is in the name? We kind of touched on this a little bit, but we didn't really get into it when T and Ross were on here. We're talking about those big names, and you said you would still choke out anyone from those big names. So,
oh yeah,
what is it
that
about?
stands.
What is it about the names? Because I let me say this before I ask you this, before you answer, is that like the names kind of do mean something to me. Not 100%, but there is something to legacy.
So when it comes to with the names, you just have that luxury of whenever someone's first starting, and they don't have someone bringing them into jiu-jitsu. It's just someone like, I want to learn how to defend myself, and they look up martial arts, and then they're like, oh, I want to try jiu-jitsu, and you type in jiu-jitsu near me, it's automatically going to show you Gracie. It's going to show you, like, you know, it's going to show you the big names.
Yeah.
You know, whether there's a closer one to you or not, that's the one it's going to highlight because it gets the most views. It's the one that has the name attached to it the most. But for me, the name and the lineage doesn't matter because it's like, it's what you put into it. You know what I mean? Like, jiu-jitsu, for the most part, is the same. Like, a Kimura is a Kimura unless you go to 10th Planet. Then a Kimura is a Dragon Twister, like, whatever they call it. Like, that's just the way it is. They're not teaching you any special sauce over there. You're not Carlos Gracie Jr.'s grandson or nothing like that. So to me, it's just like, you can get choked like the rest of these dudes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you trained at.
I imagine just because as the sport grows, I don't even say sport. See, I'm so caught up in this sport mindset. It's like, it's a martial art. And that's kind of the problem of like what I need to fix with myself is that it's not a sport, it's a martial art.
No, not necessarily. Like, so it is a martial art. MMA is a martial art, but it's also a sport, you know?
Yeah. So,
and then at this point in the time, it seems like everybody in the community is so hung up on making it a sport because everyone wants to be monetized, you know? And it makes sense, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why you constantly see these bigger jiu-jitsu guys like Mikey having beef with social media dudes and like that dude can talk all the shit he wants. He don't want no parts of Mikey.
Nah, and I think Strickland showed him why he doesn't want.
Strickland's worse. He should have for all that he should have just fought Mikey.
He really should have. Like that probably that would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been better.
The thing is Mikey would have beat that dude up and ate pizza slices in between the rounds. Like it's not. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a competition, but you have to respect what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
you have to respect it because they're trying to pave a way for practitioners after us and possibly even us. Yeah,
no, you're 100% correct when you say that. I just think of it just like I don't know. There's something we're talking about legacy, but there is something to that like martial art legacy. Like this has been going for X amount of years, and like there's a name. I'm this grandmaster, and I'm not saying I'm trying to really call nobody master, and I will just because it's the respect and it's what you do in the martial art. But I've said it before. I'm not going to bow down to anyone that doesn't show me a real reason why I should bow down to them. Like, and I'm not going to do it just because you say, "Oh, I'm the black belt." You know.
I get where you're coming from. I definitely get where you're coming from because it's like one of those things. It's like in basketball, they pay respects to him. Like everyone's like, "Oh, Michael Jordan." Like they give Michael Jordan the respect he earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whether you're Gracie or not, most gyms have Carlos Gracie Jr. hanging up in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like he's garnered his respect, and his name's always gonna carry. But I don't know. The biggest dogs I met are not in those gyms.
Yeah.
Like they're like they can have the I got my belt under Gracie all you want, and like don't get me wrong, I got my blue belt under Gracie Baja, but Like, that's not the end all be all in my eyes. Like, they're not, like, just because they carry the name, they're not, like, untouchable.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, and, the same thing. I got my blue belt under Gracie Maita, and, down in Brazil. And was I impressed by their blue belts? They were good. They were good, but I've had my butt handed to me by some blue belts up here that make me go, they weren't that good. I don't know where those blue belts were on their journey. Those blue belts could have been started. Like, I'm an anomaly. I understand that because I'm a little bit more athletic. We were talking about this offline. My knowledge of jiu-jitsu is a little bit more than the average blue belt. So I'm an anomaly as, like, if I walk in any gym that's just been doing the same arm bar, they might get me with that arm bar, but if they don't get me with that arm bar, it's going to be problems everywhere else.
For me, it really is just what you put into it. And, like, even if you get to the point to where you're thinking so far ahead to where you're legitimately tailoring your game, you're like, I'm learning at this school to learn this from them, or I'm learning, that's fine too. But there's a lot that goes into choosing a gym. And, like, for me, like I've said, it's, will the professor roll with me? Do I feel like the professor is that knowledgeable? Mm-hmm. And then B, like, for me, what's the size like in the gym? Of course, is important.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna find those things at every gym. And, like, going based off of just like, oh, I train at Gracie Hamaita, or I train at Gracie Baja, or I train at 10th Planet. You're losing out, bro. And, like, not you, but just, like, if that's your mindset on jiu-jitsu, like, I'm not straying from any of these, you're missing out.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. 10th Planet did, give us the most satisfying submission, in my opinion.
Which one?
The twister, dog. Like, if you get caught in a twister, you you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it. But it's satisfying to see someone get caught.
Oh, man. I don't even know. I conceptually, that was one of the very first moves I was taught. I barely remember it.
Oh,
go ahead.
10th Planet, everything about it for me is hard to remember, and that's why I've never, like, stayed there. Like, they, like, every name of the position and name of the submission is just some. It's like they just threw a bunch of mystical creatures in a hat, and they're like, okay, flying spice dragon, and that's what it's called.
You know what that is? That is Eddie Bravo high out of his mind, enjoying himself. Like, and I respect it.
Look, I don't gotta buy into it, bro. It's a Kimura. It's a Kimura,
You know what I hate is when someone's like, no, it's not a Kimura. It's an arm lock. I'm like, or it's a key lock, and I'm like, bro, why do we have to have these specialized? Like, I understand that I grab your wrist, my arm weaves through, and that's like, it's the same thing. Come on, bro.
For me, it's like this. You didn't do anything special, bro. Like it's jiu-jitsu. It doesn't matter what kind of choke it is. You got choked. It doesn't matter what kind of arm lock it is. You tapped. Did you tap? Then let's move on. Let's not get caught up with the intricacies of what it's called. Like, it is what it is. But
that's why we're talking about this. I've given a couple people their props for tapping me. They may have. I'll be honest with you. I only tapped because it was a situation where, why am I fighting? It's not tournament. We're in the gym. I could get out of this if I really, really wanted to, but the amount of energy and strength I have to do it. No, you tap me. So you tap me, and respect, like, and that's what I always tell people is like, no, like, you may have not had to use all your full strength to tap me on things, but, like, if I tapped because I wasn't going to put the energy that I had to use to do an escape to get out of it.
People get it at different times, but if you're going to train with longevity, you have to train smart. It shouldn't really be happening like that. Like, if we roll balls to the wall every time, all the time, like, longevity is less attainable. You know what I mean? Like, something's bound to happen. Something's eventually going to happen. Mm-hmm. So sometimes tapping early is exactly like what we talked about, episode 2, 3, taking care of yourself. Yeah. Like, just because, okay, he got to this position, is he going to submit me from it? Possibly. Like, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But you know how your body feels. Mm-hmm. So if you want to achieve longevity, tapping early makes sense. Now, if the dude takes that as like yeah, oh yeah, I'm that guy, handle it accordingly. But overall, it doesn't bother me.
So I gotta give him credence. He's a teenager, so he's like under 18. I'm not gonna say what age, just to give a good range. But I went to go visit this gym, and he got me with like an Eskrima lock because I was lazy with my foot on the hip. Right, got me with the one time. Second time, didn't get it. Playing lax, and then after the class, he's telling the coach like, "Oh yeah, I got him with this Eskrima lock," and I'm like, "Bro." Bro.
But like at the end of the day, you like there's nothing wrong. Like if you let him have it, that's perfect because like you said, he is a teenager.
Yeah,
he does need those confidence boosts sometimes, and then on top of that, like you don't lose no sleep over it. Like why would you? We're all in there to learn.
No,
but I do. I won't lie though. One thing I do is if I like look around the gym where I'm like, oh yeah, this person's like a rival to me, or like I don't trust this person to be safe with me, I will not let them get the upper hand. I will not, like, if they got the upper hand, it's because they earned it for whatever reason, or like they just got there.
You're right. Go ahead.
But no. But yeah, like I like if I'm like, oh yeah, this feels a spaz, or he's a dangerous roll, I'm smashing the whole time.
No.
The whole time, just because I got to work tomorrow.
I got to work tomorrow. We're going to get that shirt for you.
I tell people that every gym I go to, like, bro, I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't be a spaz. And that's me letting them know, if you start spazzing, I'm going to start spazzing.
No, that's what I got to work on is my dominance, man. But you're right. When it is someone that I'm like, this dude is going to go balls to the walls the whole time. This dude is going to push the pace. They're trying to kill me. I don't really say no to a roll unless I'm really, really injured. So we'll play, but I know I got to keep it at that level of like, no, this ain't happening. Nope, this ain't. Nope, sit down. I'm bored.
Yeah. The only rolls I say no to are like people drastically like undersized compared to me. Like if it's too drastic, and it's not even a knock on them. Like we talked about earlier, you're like, oh, just throw a rock, like just throw a
at
pebble.
the window, yeah.
Yeah, no, bro, no. My whole life I've been told I know my own strength. I don't know my own strength, and like to this day, I still prove that to myself. So if they're like really small, or if it's like I will refuse to roll. Like if I'm like in the mode where I'm in here trying to roll like an open mat, I'll refuse to roll. Yeah. But other than that, no.
We were talking about Forge. You came to an open mat. You said, so that experience for you, talk to me about that. What was it like? Because you said you got to roll some big boys. I didn't see everybody you got to roll with because I was out. There were some boys in there scouting, and I was out there like, let me see what you about.
I rolled with a white belt. I don't know how heavy he was, but he was like at least 240, 250 or up. I rolled with T. He's not the biggest dude, but he's a bigger dude.
Don't let him turn up.
That's what I'm saying. And then I rolled with the competition blue belt, and I rolled with one of the bigger brown belts there.
Okay.
And everyone there is solid, bro. Yeah. Like it was a little crowded, but other than that, it was solid. It was a bunch of solid rolls. I didn't have any real complaints. I walked in and immediately like people were comfortable, like they come up and talk to me, and I didn't really think of that because it had been a minute since I'd been in a real comp gym like that. But there were people in there scouting, and like me, I don't really compete, so I didn't care. But yeah, I could tell there was a lot of people because there was some people I noticed like towards the end. I was like, they ain't rolled once; they're just kind of sitting there like off by themselves, which is a little weird. To me. Like I think you'd like if you're gonna go scout, you'd at least want to go throw like 40% at them, see what they're gonna do.
Yeah, not just watch.
Yeah, like because the thing that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the people I talk to about jiu-jitsu have A plan, B plan, C plan, or if you want to put it that way, A game, B game, C game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So unless you go throw different looks at them yourself, because you don't know if that dude's going to change up his look. You don't know, like, unless you go throw different looks at them yourself, you're doing a shit job scouting, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
But, hey, there was one dude in there, bro, and he told me his name, but you know me, I'm a big dude, but I'm a fan of the fucking small guy game. Like those dudes who are cartwheeling over people.
Oh, the pajama boy?
Bro, he was in there in some pajama pants and a gray sweatshirt. And I was like, what's Buddy doing? Like, there's no way he's nice like that, in here like that. Bro was a problem. I'm talking flying arm bars, flying triangles, berimboloing, everything. He was fucking cold, bro.
Yeah.
So, I don't know your name. I don't know if you're going to see this, but fucking respect.
Yeah,
dude.
Pajama the Kid. Yeah, you were solid, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Solid.
Yeah, solid as fuck.
It was funny you talk about A game, B game, C game. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of scouts in here. We're going to go definitely C plus game. And just like you were asking me on one role that I had with Spider-Man Kid.
Oh, he pissed me off.
He asked me, he was like, what are you doing? I was like, honestly, he was doing that wrestler thing and just going forward. So I just wanted to see if he's going to stop. And there are people scouting, and I know he's at another gym, and I know he competes. And, you know, all right, let's just see if he can break this wall down.
So that guy's not from Forge?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, because I was like, why is he? Because he did 3 things where I was like, yeah, you're a sucker. Because there was one white belt in there. He's one of the first dudes to talk to me. He was there with his son, but he was a diesel fucking he was like 5'8" diesel dude. But like he was kind of cold, bro. Like he had some other background. Like he was cold.
Okay.
So just keep him in mind, right?
Okay.
That guy, he kept walking up to like white belts. Oh, you want to roll? And then fucking steamrolling them, bro. And then you walk up to another white belt. Oh, you want to roll? Mm-hmm. And then fucking steamroll him. Mm-hmm. And then before you went with him, right before that, you were going with someone younger or someone. You were letting someone work, bro. And he.
I forgot who I rolled with, but
it was whatever role you did before him, you were kind of letting someone work. Like you were talking them through it. I was sitting there. And I just seen him peeping at you.
Oh, bro. I'm going to be real with you. First off, he was a white belt. And I don't know if I was necessarily letting him work or I was necessarily trying to figure out what his strength level was because he was deceptively strong. And I was like, oh, he's one of... I was like, he was strong. That made me question his skill level, if that makes sense. Like what belt he was.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that was the role. And then I seen him get in his head like, oh, I'm going to ask him next. And then you guys kind of got into like... It was one of those unspoken, you're pissing me off, so we're both going to up the tempo.
Yeah.
And then you guys finish your role, right? Me and you, we don't really say no to roles like that. Then the fucking diesel white belt came up. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I think it was the dude you were rolling with.
Okay.
Because he was like a white guy, had kind of like a short buzz cut.
Ponytail.
No. The dude I'm talking about had like a buzz cut.
Okay.
Like, so he walks up to the dude in the Spider-Man. He's like, hey, man, you want to take a break and rest the next round? He told him he was leaving and then went to the other side of the mat and started rolling again. So he pretty much scouted out. Like, oh, no, this guy fooled me. You know, he pushed me to my limit. And then he had already seen the diesel dude roll. He knew he was pretty good. And that guy was like, you want to roll? He's like, oh, no, I'm about to leave. Then he went to the other side of the mat and just started rolling with us.
That's also the guy who we were talking about that I had to roll with that laid on the mat that went to that side of the mat. I've rolled with him before, and because he comes to open mats sometimes, and so I've rolled with him before, and I just was trying to see if he was going to do anything different. He just kind of keeps doing the same stuff, and like me, he has more of a wrestling background. And that's where he's coming from. Me still struggling with wrestling. I'm just kind of trying to say, okay, I'm downloading. Like that's really what I'm doing. It's like I'm more downloading, and I'm not going to push the tempo unless you push the tempo.
Well, that all comes down to training with a purpose. Like if you come in and you just kind of mindlessly take the drill in, and then you don't like look within, like how does this work with me or for me? It's a waste of your time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So if you see someone whose game's like kind of, that's what they're not doing. They're not really analyzing what works for them, and they just have a whole bunch of knowledge that they're not implicating.
So
they're not.
So let's we're talking about this, and so obviously it's about getting better. Let me just ask you this question: how does one go about looking at the game from that perspective? And yeah, I guess it would be skill acquisitions we're looking at, and yeah, I guess personal development and developing their jiu-jitsu.
So I can't speak for everyone because everyone's different. But for me,
Yeah, no, speak for yourself only.
For me, I'm lucky, bro. So I have Lissa, who's a black belt. That's my sis right there.
Shout out, Lissa. I've heard such great things about you.
Yeah,
Can't wait to meet you in person.
Lissa's like my jiu-jitsu idol, bro.
Okay.
Then we got my brother, her husband, Steve. We got Archie. These are all people that I can directly message like, hey, I'm struggling with this position, that understand my body type, that understand my athletic history, that understand my background, that I can talk to. Another thing, I don't know why, I feel like people are afraid to ask questions. Like people don't like, I'll submit someone and they won't ask me a question. They'll just say like, okay, and like go away. If someone submits me, I'm asking them a question. I'm asking what it was, what I did to make them want to go for that. I'm asking all of these things that I can internalize and never forget. And that's what I mean by people are asking the questions. And I mean, people are going to classes and not internalizing and not asking the questions they need to make it useful for them moving forward. And low key, I think that's why you didn't like old boy from the last school.
Man, I wish
you know
we could
who I'm talking about, bro. You know who I'm talking about.
The one who I turned it up on.
I don't even think you turned it up on him. You just said he always had like an attitude of like you felt like he didn't like you because when you tried to help him, he'd always be like,
oh,
okay,
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That's why, because
yeah.
it's the same thing. That's why he's not growing. That's why he's not getting better. He's not internalizing what he's learning. He's just learning it, and he's not he's learning it, but he's not applying it, or like internalizing how it could work for him.
That makes sense. Yeah. I really think it comes down to, I don't even want to say ego. I really think it comes down to an insecurity, because even myself, I find that sometimes I'm not asking questions, and a lot of times it's not even because I'm like I don't want to know. It's just like I'm insecure. Like usually when it's like a black belt, I don't really have a problem with it. With a brown belt, I don't have a problem with it. Purple belt, I don't have a problem with it. But like blue belts, it's really like, it's like, am I really going to get value out of this? Like, are you going to be able to really help me figure this out? And maybe that's an ego thing, but I base that all usually off of like our rules in jiu-jitsu. But like if I'm secure in the fact that you have knowledge and that you are beating me or can beat me, yeah, I'll definitely ask a question. But what I was saying was the insecurity of it is just like not even knowing what question to ask. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like I used to say when I was a white belt, get tapped out more. Like get tapped out more.
Yeah, and those lead to the questions, because sometimes you don't know what question you do. Like sometimes you get caught in a submission and it's just like, oh shit, how did that happen? You don't know what the fuck.
Yeah,
but you get tapped out more. It leads to you recognizing these positions. Like, okay, I'm getting caught here a lot more. Maybe I should ask about this.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So there's nothing wrong with that. Like, but to me, I don't care. I don't care if I feel like I'm more knowledgeable than you. I'll ask a white belt, but like, hey, what made you move like that? And like, it's not to question them. It's to, okay, he did something different to what most people that roll against me do. Let me figure out why. Okay, is it valid? Yes. Let me figure out how to stop it. So no, throw it away.
So maybe I should ask the question whether I think I'm gonna get value out of it or not. Because where I'm coming from is like usually, like you're saying, I'll ask a white belt, why'd you do it like that? But then I usually feel like 9 times out of 10, they don't know how to articulate or even understand why they did what they did. So I'm just like, oh, this is pointless. You can't help me.
You just have to be more patient with them. But I'm a firm believer that you can learn from a white belt, a blue belt, a purple belt, a brown belt, no matter what belt you are, just because no body type's the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Old boy that I rolled with last weekend, he looked at me. We're the same size, but he looked at me like, look at this fat dude, because he's fucking stacked. Yeah. And we know how that ended.
Oh, you're talking about blue belt, tall,
big when we shook hands. When we shook hands, I could tell there was a part of him that was like, this dude right here. Yeah, this dude. But it's because I'll ask questions to any belt level just because on some level, there's a reason that they did what they did.
Yeah.
And whether it had any success or not, it's going to based on whether I ask the question. And if they like, say it's like a guard retention thing, and they moved in a way, or like they did something that most people wouldn't do, I'll ask them why if it worked. And even if it didn't work, I'll ask them why if I see the potential in it working.
Copy.
Yeah.
You know, as you're saying this, I do full-heartedly believe that I should ask any belt for, advice. What it is I also believe I have a really good read on people, and that's where it's coming from. It's like that security of knowing that my read is different than what's possibility might be. Like, for example, the one that you were saying at the old school that didn't like me, that every time I try to help and give advice or whatever, like him, if I asked him for something, I don't know if I would get anything of value. So I'm just like, oh, you're a white belt, you don't know anything.
So I get where you're coming from now. I think you should like kind of, the people that I'm asking questions to are people that I can tell genuinely love this. Like they're not here joking. They're not here to play grab ass with the girls. Like you can tell that this is what they like. This is what they do. They want to get better. They want to learn, and they want to have these conversations with you, so they can progress.
Okay, so we are doing the same thing. I'm just approaching it from a different aspect, different angle. Okay.
Yeah, but the guy you're talking about, I kind of wanted to bring him along too, but like it just felt like it was. So I was
and then that's what it felt like every time I tried. I was like, either you don't want to hear it from me. I'm not trying to be here and coach anybody. I want to help you guys so you guys can get better to make me better. That's where I'm coming from.
Well, it's like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Not parent. It's like a full circle relationship, right? The top guy in the gym, it is his job to bring forward who's the newest guy or the white belt or the guy that needs the most help. Yeah. It's his job to bring him forward because he's going to make everyone have better roles with him, and so on and so on and so on. It's a trickle down effect. As soon as he gets better, the people he's rolling with start getting better, and the people they're rolling with start getting better, and it builds its way up the chain, and that's just how a school grows. Yeah. But if you have people who aren't rolling with these intentions in mind, a school will hit a point of just being stagnant.
Makes sense.
And I think we've all been to one of those schools once or twice before.
No, big facts. That makes sense. And then asking questions is a very big, important part of that. I got to figure out what questions I need to ask right now because I'm in a situation where asking questions is definitely, what is it? What is it? It's the opposite of frowned upon. Like, it's like it's like you're supposed to do it. They want you to ask questions. I can't think of the word right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's encouraged.
Why can't I think of the word encouraged? Man, it's a rough life, bro. It's a rough life.
The English extraordinaire.
English has always been. We've always had our thing. I know enough of it to survive.
Dog. I grew rapidly fast to the point like I'm pretty sure I towered over my mother in like 6th grade, 5th grade. Mm-hmm. So she started finding clever ways to punish me. She'd make me depending on how bad I did, like how bad I was in trouble. Yeah. She'd hand me the dictionary and she'd be like, copy them words verbatim. And if you don't know what verbatim means, look it up and then do it.
I know what verbatim means.
Well, I'm not talking about you, but that's exactly what she told me.
Verbatim, VERB. See, I can't spell it, but I'll tell you what it means. It means it means exactly how it is. It's like word for word exactly. Yeah. It's like copy. It's like a carbon copy.
He said verbatim.
I don't know, but I'm ignoring it because.
What it is, cuz?
No, I don't know who it is. Someone knocked on my door. It's what it is. It's not my lady. Maybe it is my lady.
I think it is. They're still there.
Let me pause. I think it's my lady. Yeah, she got the code. Hold on. How about you keep them entertained while I let her in?
Oh, yeah.
Let's give them a spelling bee.
Look, Hip and Papa. Oh, and the new Avatar: The Last Airbender, ass. And let me look, because I'm a purist. How you doing? Huh?
All right, we have to change the cameras.
Oh, you told me shit. How you doing?
No, we're still rolling. We're still rolling. We keeping it hot, like fire. Hey, that's because you walked in, babe. Love you. What the fuck were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about how my mom used to punish me.
And then my bad spelling. Yeah, we're gonna work on that.
verbatim.
You know, like 36 years old, had to literally sit down and wrote discipline just to figure out how to spell it. Like standards, like DIS.
Look, it be like that. It be like that.
Yeah, no, it was like over and over again. It was rough.
Dude, I remember I was doing a spelling bee when I was younger, and the word that got me out haunts me to this day because I feel like, oh, that was stupid.
What word?
Impeach.
IMPEACHED? I rushed the end of it because I wasn't quite sure. So
No, you were right. But
okay.
it wasn't impeached past tense. It was just impeach.
Okay.
And I remember as soon as I got it wrong, I was like, "You're an idiot. You're dumb."
I almost messed up spelling discipline right there. That's why I stopped because I was like, "Oh wait, I was DISCIE." But
discipline.
It, how I remember it is, it's like disc, but without the disc, DISC, pline.
Yep.
I-pline. DISCIPLINE. That's how I break it up in my brain.
You ever watch The Office?
No.
That's how Michael remembers names, and everyone's like, that shit sounds crazy. They're like, he'll be like, your name's Rover, and you drive a red car, Rover. I'm like, what?
Bro, that's how I have to memorize stuff sometimes.
Oh yeah, bro.
It's I'll do that with jiu-jitsu moves too. I'm like, okay, so it's like a triangle. Like today we were doing oh man, I gotta tell you about the seminar today that we had at Misfits, man. Professor Lee, man, shout out to him. Really, really solid black belt that I feel like I say it all the time, really solid black belt on everything. So I gotta feel like I gotta figure out like a difference between like elite, really solid, like, I don't know, like your ABC game. Because I want to show people the respect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would say Professor Lee is of the elite category. Like I can just tell by his energy, like he's an elite dude. And go ahead.
Well, so what I will say is, I think in terms of jiu-jitsu technical wise, most black belts are going to be elite when it comes to technique. You know what I mean? I think the reason why you keep using the word elite is because these are all people that you feel like every black belt we've had on is someone that you enjoy learning from, and they've left that impression on you. So as a black belt, competition aside, we're not even really talking about that, but we're talking about their contribution as a black belt and how they are elite because they left a standing impact on you and your game, whether it's a move, their teaching style. So it makes them an elite black belt because they left that impression.
Yeah,
because that's their job to me. That's a black belt's job.
Okay, well, I will take care of that. So I'm going to keep saying really solid black belts then. No, there's something to that, and I think that's how I look at when we talk about this offline, how we want to build this show. We only want black belts on that we respect and enjoy their input into our game. But like with Professor Lee, like he's a really solid black belt. And just the way he connected some of the dots and standing, it's just like, it's almost every time I do a new standing like segment, it's like, I can't learn anymore. And then every time it's like someone new comes in, it's like, man, you connected some more dots. Man, thank you. And there's so many dots to connect with standing. Standing is like the forgotten art of jiu-jitsu.
Well, so I've told you I love judo. I'm not great at judo. I have a few tosses that I like, but I love the judo aspect of jiu-jitsu. Just because, if you pull up into the street and Buddy sits down, let's not do that.
Yes.
Let's not do that. But yeah, judo, and then getting a satisfying like judo throw is up there with getting a satisfying submission to me. Yeah. Just like when you're the new guy at the gym and they don't know that you love the Uchimata and you hit it for real, it's satisfying.
Okay.
I'm
not that good. I don't get to experience that.
You got it. We'll get you on that.
I feel like it strains my knee too much for me to confidently want to try for it.
I get that. I get that because you are putting a lot of trust as you turn in for that because you have to scoop with the leg.
Yeah.
So you're putting a lot of trust in like just in your knee strength to get them up and over.
What's the MCLs, the interior portion of your knee,
yeah.
and that's what scares me the most is just because like the interior of my right knee is jacked. We've already talked about it. We'll just keep moving.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just love the judo aspect of the game. So I wish I could have made it, but unfortunate circumstances, I was stranded.
Yeah, actually, I feel really bad, bro. Because if I didn't know you weren't coming, I would have said, "All right, I'll be late and come scoop you on the way up." So, my fault.
Basically, what happened was I went to leave, and my girl went to lunch with her friend, and usually they take her car, but for whatever reason, they took her friend's car, and she took her keys. So she was parked like she had me stranded.
I would like yell at her, but I actually love her. She's
I'm giving her the
lovely
death stare
lady.
into the camera from when she watches
and,
this.
She answered all my questions without it. We've only met each other, someone like once, like in passing, and it was competition day, which is the worst day to meet me because I don't give a fuck about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I no disrespect to anybody, but if I meet you on competition day, I don't care about you at all.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it's funny. It doesn't matter. Move on.
Yeah. No, I get it too because she was that last competition I did. She hadn't really spent the whole day like a competition day with me before. Other than my first tournament, actually, she did go to my first tournament.
Oh, okay.
But a lot's changed since then, like jiu-jitsu wise, like skill wise, the people I'm competing against. So all day she was just like, "Are you okay? Is there anything I can do?" But she's never really seen me like in that mode where I'm like, "I'll choke everybody in this."
Yeah. There's a mode that I get into, so you know what it is. I want to go back to Professor Lee, a solid black belt.
Solid.
Since I keep starting over. But he really connected some dots, and it was cool because he was telling me about this tournament he has going on, or I don't know if he hosted or he's a part of it, but it's judo submission. Which you hear that and you're kind of like, huh, what? But it kind of sounds a little bit better than jiu-jitsu competitions to me, low key, because
you can't pull guard.
The emphasis, if you pull guard, you give them points. I think he said it was. You give them 2 points. So you pull guard, you give them 2 points right away. So go ahead and pull guard if you want to, but you're giving up 2 points. So what? Say it.
Look, I'll be that guy. I understand in certain situations there's guard pullers and like don't get me wrong. I understand heel hooks. I will heel hook. I understand toe hold. I understand all that. But the dudes who just like I can't stand anyone more in jiu-jitsu than the dudes who just pull guard and like just immediately go for heel hooks. If that's your game, fine, bro. Fine. Like so one time when I was in Vegas, this dude, he came in, he asked me to roll, way smaller than me. I was like, "You sure?" He was like, "Yeah." So I'm kind of like keeping my weight off of him. Yeah. Dude immediately goes for like a heel hook, and like just the way he went about it, I was like, "All right, motherfucker." So I tap, and then I was like, "All right, bro, you want to go again?" He's like, "Yeah, we can do it again." He tried. He was gonna go for along the same things, but whenever I got my grips on him this time, I knew. I was like, "Buddy, you're going for a ride." I love the Uchimata. Everyone knows I love that shit. I took him for a ride, bro, and he landed. He spent 45 seconds in my side control, then tapped to pressure, got up, went and talked to his lady, and they went home.
Okay. Yeah.
And like that's just the stigma, and that's the type of shit I've ran into with the dudes who just heel hook all day.
And so I usually find it with smaller. So I'm going to say this about every size of individuals has their kind of, not every, most individuals, depending upon their size, have their weaknesses. Mm-hmm. We big guys,
slow. You guys are all some slow bastards, including me.
And all you usually do is try to use your weight and try to lay on people, and you try these dirty tricks. It's not dirty tricks. It's part of the game. It's a lot of forearms on the neck, and like it's all trying to pressure like make you tap because you can't handle pressure stuff. So it's like, to me, I call them cheap tricks because I'm like, do it to me. I don't care. Like, we can have some fun. I'm gonna,
you know what it is,
that
dude?
shit. Go ahead.
It's a fear of cardio, bro.
Yes.
That is all it is. That is all it is.
And so 100%. And so we're like the little guys, what do they do? It's a fear of strength. So it's the fear of lifting weights and getting stronger. And don't get me wrong, there's probably guys out there, but I'm saying colloquially, if we're breaking it down on the patterns I see based upon these different people, little guys don't lift weights, and so they try to get the cheap trick with the leg lock so they can get an advantage. Big guys try to use their weight as an advantage, and somewhere in between, you know, the athlete comes out and they got the cardio, they got the strength, and then they just demolish everyone else. And that's kind of what we saw with like Nicky Rod. We'll use him as an example, right?
Yeah.
We have our feelings about those.
Look, so on both things, bro. Don't get me wrong. Again, I think heel hooks are useful, but if that's the only thing in your arsenal, one, you're not really tapping into the self-defense aspect of it. Because I don't know if you guys know this, do not heel hook. Don't try and heel hook an attacker. You're fucked.
No.
And then two, like, jiu-jitsu is a beautiful game, bro. There's a lot to it. There's a lot out there, and you're only focusing on one thing. You're wasting your time.
Yes.
And then like on the Nicky Rod thing, to me, like, so he's big, he's athletic, he's fast, he's explosive, right?
Yeah.
I don't like, I think he's going to beat some people because those things are hard to get over. But to me, he always loses to the same thing. He loses to someone who is drastically more skilled than him and from a technique capacity and an IQ capacity. Mm-hmm. And that's not calling him dumb. That's just, he's legitimately still a purple belt, if I'm not mistaken, or a brown belt now. But
I think he might have been promoted to a black belt. He might be brown belt, but whatever the case is.
It's one of those things where they're getting promoted because of, like, he performed really well at ADCC, not because he's done the time on the mat. And eventually that shit matters, bro.
It does. And that's kind of what, like, even I said earlier in the show that I'm an anomaly. I got ahead because of that same kind of thing. Is just like, I just happen to be good in these better places over these other people. So I had an advantage because of when I started and what I did when I started.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Overall, I do like Nicky Rod, and I do like what they're doing, like, with that whole group, because more than Gordon, I think they're the ones kind of pushing jiu-jitsu, because Gordon's, like, has the untouchable persona, but what's the word I'm looking for? The commonality, the, like, people can, the relatability belongs to Nicky Rod and them.
But I will say, like, that's the thing. This is why I want to talk about this. Is like, Who's Number One was boring as fuck to me. Like, I was bored out of my mind with Who's Number One. Yeah. And it had some big names in there. And I feel like maybe that's because the Karate Combat was going on around the same time and all the other athletes were booked out there. But I just feel like Gordon has not been competing. And since he hasn't competed, as much as I hate to say it, the sport is kind of dull.
So it's like Gordon, Nicky Rod, the dude who Craig Jones. Mm-hmm. They're the designer brands of jiu-jitsu, bro. Like to think like so when they're not competing, it's like when the star players aren't playing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
yeah.
I think there's some other things wrong with, because I can't blame the practitioners for the rule set that they're playing in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And part of what makes a tournament special is the atmosphere of a tournament. All the people around, the nerves, there's 6 matches next to you. Like, there's a lot going on. And when you take that and you focus that on Who's Number One, that has what, a 7-8 minute time limit? Mm-hmm. 7-8 minute time limit. They're highlighting now, like, they only highlight, like, black belts now. Like, in 2020, there was a lot of blue belts that they were showing on Who's Number One. Okay. Like, and that's why. Because at black belt, the game gets very slow. It gets very technical. It's like less chance that you're going to catch somebody. Blue belt, that's where if you go through Instagram, bro, and you scroll around the tournament, you're going to notice all the highlight submissions, blue belt, purple belt.
Okay.
As soon as you get to brown and black, kind of slows down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's to me, it's a couple things. Whenever you're a lower belt, you're more hungry to get those highlight submissions. You're more susceptible to go for them for two reasons. You haven't seen there's a downside to everything, and it just hasn't happened to you yet. Like, you know, like it may have worked once, it may have worked twice. Eventually, you're gonna fuck yourself up, and you're going, I'm never doing that shit again. It happens to all of us.
I thought my lockdown was unbeatable, right? I thought half guard was unbeatable, but let someone step back and take you into that saddle, into that ankle lock territory, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to play that game. Don't want to go there.
Exactly. That's all it is, bro. And then the next thing that's kind of like holding who's number one back to me is it's hard to compete with ADCC, bro. And in terms of where you're going to go get monetized, it's ADCC.
Well, that's kind of why I was bringing up even that judo submission tournament that Professor Lee is putting on or is a part of, because I like the idea if you pull guard, you give up 2 points. I like the idea that it's like, hey, we're going to handle this on our feet first, jiu-jitsu second. Not saying that jiu-jitsu should be handled second, but if a fight or an interaction starts standing, you have to be able to either A, know how to get the fight to the ground to even use jiu-jitsu, or B, be able to handle it when it goes to the ground.
Yeah.
Before that, you can't use jiu-jitsu. I mean, you can some ways, but go ahead.
No, I was waiting for you to finish.
Oh, there's stand, like you can do standing submissions. There's standing techniques that are jiu-jitsu based that can control the standing ground. So I'm not saying that you can't use jiu-jitsu, but what I'm saying is that there isn't a focus on the standing, and if we're looking at it from a self-defense standpoint, we need to be looking at it from a standing standpoint as well.
Yeah, that's big.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And bro, honestly, as a sport, okay, if you want to pull guard, fine. But as a self-defense practice, no. That shit's dumb. Especially like you can generate a lot of power punching down, bro. you're legitimately pulling in a self-defense situation, you're pulling guard, right? Now that dude's punching down. There's a lot more power you can generate punching down. And then on top of that, like it's a lot easier to kick you in the face if you're sitting down.
Here's a simple example anyone can do at home. Just get a punching bag, stand over it, and hammer fist it, and then hang it up, stand next to it, or put it on the wall, and then throw a straight punch. Tell me which one's more powerful.
Exactly.
That right there answers the question.
And really, that's my only gripe with people who pull guard.
Yeah.
That's really, if you pull guard in tournament situations, but you know and understand judo, that's different. But if whenever we're learning takedowns, you're picking your nails and you're nowhere to be found, I don't really respect it.
Neither do I. I think standing is important for the sport, and I think it's important for the martial art. Big time
important for the martial arts. Like most fights go to the ground, and the purpose of jiu-jitsu is to, like, when you're on the ground, to be able to get advantageous, or
to
whenever
be able to get back up.
Yeah, or whenever you're the one in the advantageous situation, is to pin them and to defuse the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're that confident in your guard, man, you know, have at it.
You know what I love about the guard, right, is there is no accountability. Like in the gym, we're not slamming people.
Speak for yourself.
No, but I'm saying, like how there are some people that can stand up with you fully locked in your guard. You locked in their guard, and that's what I'm saying. In a real fight, you lock your guard on me, you better have something for me if I stand up, because if not, we're going for a ride, and I'm beating you with.
Yeah. Yeah, so and
I'm trying not to get too crazy with my cursing. That's what that was. I was like, let me slow down. I'll said a few curse words this way.
Yeah, so no, I definitely get you, and that's like my biggest thing. Yeah. Like, I think I think you should treat it for what it is. It's a self-defense first, it's a sport second. Yeah, you know. And then my mom told me that she's putting my little mama, my mom's sister, so it's my cousin. Yeah, they're putting her in jiu-jitsu, and I'm so excited, bro, because she's like 7, but she's lanky. Ooh. She's like pushing 5 foot at 7. So They're about to turn her into into a monster.
Man.
But this is the one I told you that I took to a class with me to play with the kids, and she sat on the bench and went home and wrist locked her brother because that's what we were doing to each other in class. So she was just watching. She figured it out, and she went home. And for like a while, her brother would come up and hug her, and she'd hook the elbows and try and wrist lock him.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Seven's a good age to start if she wants, especially with it growing. There's a good possibility that it might be a viable source of income for her, in the future.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're in San Diego, so I already know where I want her to train. I know where I want her to go.
Can you say it? Can you say where?
Oh yeah, I'll say where.
1, 2, 3. Legion.
I want her.
I was trying to guess.
Legion's just like, it's a really big school, bro. And it's cool, and they're really competition based. I like my time there, but I also have my issues with my time there.
Yeah.
And we can touch on that more later.
Yeah.
But they do have one of my favorite. Like I don't know if he considers me a rolling partner because he used to beat the shit out of me. But Sloan Climber, it's one of my favorite rolls ever. Okay. I felt fucking helpless, and then his fucking butterfly and shoulder lockdown that he does. Nothing's annoyed me more in jiu-jitsu. But overall, I do want her to train Gracie Baja or Hamaita to start just because I feel like they focus on the fundamentals for a really long time, and that's very important to build a foundation in self-defense. Yeah. Not even just jiu-jitsu, just in self-defense.
Yeah. No, I'm biased because I was, I kind of started in Gracie Hamaita, so I'm going to say Gracie Hamaita.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's the one thing I will say. Gracie stays to the fundamentals for a long time. Like, I don't know if it's any different now. I stopped training Gracie in like 2019. Yeah. But back then, they weren't even teaching heel hooks and leg locks until you were a purple belt. And then there was like a class that if you weren't a purple belt, don't even come in.
Copy. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad way to handle it, I guess. But I don't know. There's so many ways to approach this. When I look at it, there's so many ways to approach it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't want her to like get focused on smelling feet or whatever, just I want her to focus on what it is first. Like, it's a self-defense. Okay. Like, if someone's attacking you, this is how you get up. And that's exactly how they're going to teach it at Gracie.
Yes.
At the Gracies, both of them. Yes. That's exactly how they're going to teach it. They said, this is how you get up, and they're going to make you do the create distance arms and then, like, get away. That's what I want her to go through first. Not compared to, like, these schools where they're just like, take them down, do a heel hook, you won the match. Like, I don't want it to connect like that for her first. I wanted to connect that for her second.
Yeah. No, you're 100% spot on. When I first started, that's kind of how, like I said, that's how I approached it. And we were talking about just going to the ground on concrete. And I was even going to mention this when we were talking about it, was that's when the fight goes to the ground, the first thing Gracie's going to teach you, get up. Like, you're not staying on the ground because you want to triangle this person and do an arm bar on them. That's like worst case scenario, and you have no other option, and that option has presented themselves. But if you can, get up and get the away.
Exactly.
Like, disengage.
Especially, like, the world's just getting crazier. And, like I said, like, that's my little lady, dude. That's, like, the youngest lady in my family. Yeah. So I'd love for her to know how to protect her. And then I'm 4 hours away. Yeah. And, like, one time my family was like, oh, what are you going to do if someone takes you? And she's like, Devontae will come get me. I'm glad she thinks I'm Liam Neeson from Taken, but 4 hours away, by the time I get there, you're gone. It's going to be, I don't have those skills? Like, don't get me wrong. I think in terms of, like, my jiu-jitsu and, like, my martial arts, I'm pretty certified. You got to respect me. Yeah. But on that level, bro? Nah.
A lot of people are pretending on that level.
Nah, I'm honest with myself, bro. Like, the dudes who will be like, yeah, the biggest animal I can beat, probably a bear. No, bro.
No. Yeah. Bro, did I tell you about the story I heard of this wrestler from, I want to say Wyoming, who was in the woods with his homies, and they're all on the wrestling team, like, and dude wrestled with a bear. I think I might have talked about it.
I don't think you told me this, bro.
Like, dude fought off a bear for his homie. I'm like, that's a real homie. Like, he jumped on the back, like tried to choke out the bear. The bear messed him up. Like he ended up getting jacked up, but he's still wrestling. And at the collegiate level, I'm like, yo, that's a savage,
bro. That is a savage. So I've told you about. Did I tell you about when I had like my interaction with a bear in college?
I don't think so,
bro. I was going to a college called Adams State, bro. It's up in Alamosa. So we're in class, dude, and then like they just kind of come on and they tell everyone over like the intercom, like, hey, stay in your class, bro. There's a bear outside. So I'm looking out the window, I'm looking around, and I see a bear like across the parking lot, and it looks like it's the size of like one of the industrial trash cans in height. And I'm thinking like, yo, that motherfucker big, bro, because he's like, when he's on all fours, he's as long as it. When he's sitting down, he's as tall as it.
Okay.
I'm like, this dude's big. And then he like pulls his hand out and slaps the shit out the side of an industrial, like a mall-sized trash can.
You mean like the ones like in your apartment complex that you could move yourself?
No. Like
okay.
the industrial like size, like the ones at the mall, like that don't have wheels. So they're just like crates on the.
Oh yeah. Okay,
bro. When I tell you, like he slapped it and then he slapped it again. And it can't like this part, of course, was stationary. There's no wheels.
Yeah.
But he's just like playing with it, slapping it, and it's like turning like this. And you're seeing sparks fly from underneath the fucking trash can. And I'm sitting up here 3 stories up, like, don't let that motherfucker get in here,
bro.
And then, so the crazy part is, that's not even the bear they're warning us about. I look up, there's a bear looking down on it in the fucking tree, bro. The mama bear. 3 times the size of the bear that I'm watching slap this trash can around.
Yeah, no.
You're not fighting a bear, bro.
You're not fighting a bear. I always say I could take on 2 coyotes if I'm lucky.
I think I can beat 2 coyotes.
Yeah.
I think I can beat coyote. Okay, never mind. No, I was thinking I don't know why I thought of hyenas in my head. I was going to say no.
No, hyenas are, bro, it's different. When I look at a hyena, I'm like, I don't want to with that.
It's huge, bro.
Like they're a little bit bigger than they seem. I mean, like this, bro. Like it's a big dog. It's a real big dog.
Yeah, like Great Dane size almost. Yeah, but proportionate.
Yeah. So, nah. 2 coyotes, that's my limit, and maybe a goldfish. I could fight a goldfish. I'll just pull that up, have to throw it on the wall, and he's good. It's a wrap.
Look, anyone who looks me dead in the eyes and they're like, yo, I can beat some type of monkey, some type of bear, or some type of cat-like animal that's not like a domesticated house cat, I'm like, you've never really trained for it. You've either A, never trained because your ego hasn't been crushed enough, or B, you're the most full of yourself dude in the world, bro.
You've never had your ass kicked, like, for real, because there's some humans that, no.
So because I'm going to Japan this summer, I've been looking around on the internet, and there's those areas where the monkeys will steal from you out there. Bro, this dude my monkey stole this dude's wallet. He tried to pull up on the monkey just to get snuffed out by like 8 of them, bro.
Nah.
he got jumped.
Bro, go ahead.
And all I'm thinking is like, I wonder what his girl felt. Like, she got to go home and cuddle up with him. Like, yeah, that's my man, the one on the internet. Got beat up by the monkey.
So we're at that hour mark. So I got one last story since we talked about monkeys. So we're on the safari, and my dude was like, "Man, I ain't never seen." He's like, "I'm surprised I ain't seen no monkeys this whole time I'm here." And then we finally, like, literally, like, I would say 5 seconds after he said that, we hit this crossroad, and there were like monkeys everywhere. 2 monkeys are banging, like just full on, just banging right there as we pull up. And it's just like a sea of monkeys in the trees and the crossroads. And I'm like, yo, these things are yay big right here, but there is no way 3 of those wouldn't jack me up. 3 of them easily would jack me up. One would, but easily 3 of them would like demolish me.
Look, the thing is, what people don't understand is one of the toughest workouts that us as humans acknowledge is like body weight, pull-ups, calisthenics.
Yes.
That's all those motherfuckers do, bro. You're done. You were done. They do pull-ups for transportation.
Oh, I've never even thought of. All right, I'm gonna transport my ass out of this one now. We out, bro.
Hey, before we go, we doing shout outs?
Shout out. Why you asking, bro? You ask. I keep telling you, this is our show. We do whatever we want. Except like I do.
You know, I'm gonna be there, and I'm starting tomorrow at Misfits.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! It's declared.
So we're going to Misfits just because that gym just reminded me of football meathead days, and I missed it.
Okay.
Second thing, I talk about them often. I haven't talked to them personally in a while, but hey, if you're in Vegas, stop by Movement Academy. That's my boy Mike's new gym. Just GPS it. It's gonna pop up. Mike was my teacher at Cabrinha.
Okay.
Cool dude, one of the best vibes I've ever been in a gym. Definitely check that out. Check that out. I'll be there in like a month or two.
Hey, so that's I'm excited you're gonna be in Misfits with me, man. It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, overall, bro, is like it's a gym I can be myself. They got Muay Thai, and then the weights underneath the
weight
mats
was kind of sick.
That was like the huge selling point for me.
Yeah.
Huge selling point for me.
I mean, like, I don't know if you've been in there yet, like worked out yet, but like it's cool with the door open. You almost feel like you're outside.
Oh, bro, the same way they said T started like a culture there. Look, if y'all want to come, you can come, but I'm about to be in that gym with my speaker. Just blaring nonsense.
All right. Well, man. So I guess you can catch me at Misfits. I don't have my schedule yet. I'm trying to really, I've been slacking. I'm trying to really be at Misfits and Forge Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit both the night classes. Tuesday and Thursdays, I'm trying to keep my optionals. And Saturdays and Sundays, it's kind of optionals too. Not optionals, like I'm going to either a class or an open mat on either Saturday or Sunday, but Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of like rest days.
Yeah, me. I'm gonna be at Misfits every day, and then I'll probably hit random open mats. Yeah. I've been wanting to pull back up to A side for an open mat. I've just been kind of busy. Haven't really been training as consistently.
I go back, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be welcome. So.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Maybe I should just pull up and see if they throw me out. Be like, "What's up?"
Look. But last time, all love. Clip that though for Mike, just so I can post it too.
Okay.
Yeah. But hit up Movement Academy down in Vegas. Mike, his wife, they run a dope ass gym.
Okay.
And then I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some fucking killers in there. There's some killers in there. At your own risk.
It's funny. That's kind of what Ross said to me. He was like, "Hey, bro, I know we cool, but." When you get in here and Ford, you on your own, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm good. I know how to handle myself. I appreciate it though. He was like, yeah, no, I appreciate the warning though.
Yeah, like if you die, you die.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna check out of here. Actually, so another announcement real quick before we check out is we're gonna do our first travel podcast. Finally, we're gonna do that with Tri-City with Black Belt Manny. He has a really good story, a weight loss journey I want to tell, especially since we have our own struggles with weight. And, I think he has some really good insights there. And then next week, we're going to have our 20th episode.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be wild. It's going to be fun, though.
We're actually going to celebrate this a little bit. So if you guys haven't marked it in your calendars, definitely mark it in your calendar because it might get a little lit. I mean, like, lit. But, we'll see what's up.
Lit, what's up?
You're sipping on the syrup. You know the deals.
Yeah, but I'm with it.
All right, so thank you guys for tapping in.
We gonna announce the other thing we're gonna start.
What's the other thing?
The other situation we were talking about just documenting shit.
Oh yeah. No, we're doing all that. We'll just show them. We'll show them.
We'll show
them what's up because
we'll just pop out with them.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a name for that because
We'll
do that later. But
yeah, we don't want no one stealing our ideas.
Yeah, fuck y'all. We know a couple. We know someone out there who's already done it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for tapping in. We tapping out. If you haven't already,
like, share, subscribe.
I was wondering if you guys tap in. I was just shut up.
Oh yeah, hey, next time warn me, Like, share, subscribe, and if you think you about that life, hit the comment section. Tell us where you train, especially if you're in LA.
And we'll pull up, or you can pull up, whatever. We about that training life.
Yeah. You might even get your professor up here talking And
That would be dope. Yeah, bring your professors on. Yeah, I got a couple of people asking about coming on, so we got some things. I'm gonna sign off because I can ramble.
Yeah.
Y'all stay blessed.
Stay